Mark Congreve is a senior consultant with ICANRural, working with Grain Research and Development Corporation. How are you, Mark?
I'm great, thanks. How are you?
Excellent, thank you. We're pleased to pick up this information, which is, I guess when it comes to herbicides, it's a hot topic with even availability for farmers across our Victorian South Australian listenership. But you've got some workshops about how to get the best value out of your pre-emergent herbicides.
Yeah, we've been running sort of different versions of the workshops for many years, but these ones are targeted for growers and their advisors across some parts of Victoria and South Australia over the next couple of weeks' time, as we're moving into that pre-planting space and really focusing on pre-emergent herbicides and what we need to do to optimise those.
All right, and so I guess it's about getting the best value out of that when you've got a pretty sensitive time for your crop in those early weeks.
Yeah, the herbicides, do behave differently depending on whether it's dry or whether it's wet, and the different chemistries that we've got available. There's a lot of new products in the market in the last year or two, so growers are probably trying to think, where does everything fit best in their operation, what works for their different planting types, the different crops that they're going to be growing. So, it's a reasonably complex decision making to try to get it right, to both get good weed control, but also not getting a crop injury at the same time.
Yeah, so I guess we're some way off of those decisions being made on the ground, if you like. So this is the purpose of the workshops, is so farmers feel well equipped with the latest advice and even some Australian innovations in doing this in a really efficient way.
Yes, while planting won't sort of start until into April or May, we're trying to kick these off with a little bit of a lead time. So we're looking at the last week of March in South Australia and in the first week of April in Victoria, should give people enough time to be able to implement the decisions that they're going to take away from the workshops. All
right, so let's look at the South Australian dates. Where are you going to be across those few days at the end of March?
Okay, so we've got 3 workshops lined up. We're going to be at Kadina on the Tuesday the 29th. These workshops go for the best part of a day. We'll probably be finished by about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Kadina on the 29th, Booleroo Centre on the 30th of March, and Freeling on the 31st of March.
All right, and just regarding those workshops, there's a cost involved, is there?
Yeah, we charge participants $50 a head, which covers the workbooks on the day and some food and meals and tea and coffee, etc.
Yep, pretty good value for a solid amount of advice they're going to get. Let's look at the Victorian dates. Then you roll across into Western Victoria in the first week of April.
Yes, so we're looking at Monday the 4th of April at Kaniva, Tuesday the 5th at Birchip, and Wednesday the 6th at Echuca.
Echuca that was, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yep, sorry, signal was a bit flunky there. So we got Birchip, Echuca and Kaniva. Kaniva, Birchip, Echuca in that order. All right, and just more broadly, just when it comes to applying of herbicides, is there, we hear a lot about spray drift, we've talked a bit about it, is there anything farmers really need to be focused on with that going into, I guess, growing seasons closer perhaps to vineyards?
Sure. From the pre-emergent herbicides, they aren't highly damaging to most adjacent crops, but often when we're putting out those pre-emergent herbicides, there's also going to be knockdown herbicides put in the mix as well. So that's probably more where we get focused on potential spray drift. So it is important. It's also important to choose how we set up our sprayer so that, one, we don't cause damage, off-target damage, but also we get the most out of the product as far as performance goes. So what sort of water rates we're going to use, what sort of spray operating conditions, travel speeds, nozzle types. So we will discuss, some of that in the workshops as well, to both reduce drift but also to maximise performance of the products.
All right, plenty more information for some hours from the advisors there at Kadina, Booleroo Centre, Freeling, Kaniva, Birchip and Echuca, brought to you thanks to GRDC and ICANRural. Thanks very much for your time today.
No worries, thanks for that.